Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Storytime Tuesday, where we read really good books. I am so glad that you are here to read with me today. Before we get into today's really good book, we have some special shoutouts, and today's shoutouts go to so many of my friends in Ohio. Today's special shoutouts go to Jasmyne, Jeffersyn, Axel, and Parker. Thank you guys so much for reading with me today. Our really good book today is called The Storm That Stopped. And it's about how Jesus and his friends were on a boat in a really big storm. And we get to see how Jesus is powerful enough to make even the waves and the wind be still. If you have a copy, I want you to grab it so you can read along with me. Okay? You ready? Let's take a look.
The Storm That Stopped. A true story about who Jesus really is. Written by Alison Mitchell, illustrated by Catalina Echeverri. One day, long ago, Jesus was teaching people by the sea. Soon, some more people arrived, and then others, then more and more, until there were people everywhere.
Give me some room. We can't hear back here.
The crowds were just too big.
Be quiet.
I can't see.
No one could see Jesus, and no one could hear Jesus. So Jesus asked his friends, the disciples, to push their boat out into the water. He sat in the boat, and the huge crowd spread out along the beach. Now they could all see and hear Jesus as he told them all about God. When he finished teaching to the people, Jesus said to his friends,
"Let's go over to the other side of the sea."
Jesus had finished teaching the crowd, and now he had something to teach his friends. But they didn't know it yet. So they all jumped in the boat with him and set sail across the sea. Jesus was so tired. He'd been teaching the people all day, so he lay down in the back of the boat and fell fast asleep. It was a quiet evening. The water gently lapped against the boat, and the sun slowly set in the sky. Jesus was sleeping. The disciples were quietly talking. Then all of a sudden, they were in the middle of the biggest, loudest, scariest, most ginormous storm you could imagine. The wind blew hard. The waves grew huge. The water poured into the boat, but Jesus was asleep. The wind blew harder. The waves grew huger. The water filled the boat, but Jesus was still asleep.
Jesus!
Wake up, wake up!
We're drowning!
Don't you care?
What a silly thing to say to Jesus. Of course he cared. He loved his friends so much that one day he was going to die for them. Jesus stood up in the boat. The wind was still blowing. The waves were bigger than ever. The water was pouring into the boat quicker than the disciples could tip it out again. The boat was sinking. But then Jesus did something amazing. He didn't help his friends pour the water out of the boat. He didn't help them try to row back to land. Jesus simply spoke. But he didn't speak to all the disciples. He spoke to the storm, to the wind, and to the waves.
Quiet. Be still.
Just 3 little words, and the storm stopped. Right away, at that very moment, the sea was quiet, still, and calm. Then Jesus looked at his friends.
Why are you so afraid? Do you still not trust me?
But they were terrified, and they asked each other,
Who is this? Even the waves and wind do what he says.
This is what Jesus wanted to teach them. He wanted them to know who he really is. The disciples already knew a lot about God from his special book. They knew that God made everything. He made the world, he made the sun and the moon and the stars. and he made the sea, and he made the wind as well. They knew that only God can tell the sea what to do, that only God can tell the wind to blow or the waves when to crash. Only God can do these things. But the disciples had just seen Jesus do the same things God can do. So, what is the answer to their question?
Who is Jesus?
Jesus is God. The end.
That was a really good book. Wow. Can you imagine being on a boat in a really big storm? What I love about this book is that we got to see that even though Jesus' friends were scared, they didn't have to be because Jesus was with them. And you don't have to be scared. Whatever it is that you do that might be scary or frightening, you don't have to be because Jesus is always with you too. I hope that this becomes one of your favorite books like it is for me. Come back and read with me again for some more Storytime Tuesday books. Like, subscribe, share, tell a friend, and I'll see you next time. Remember, I love you and Jesus loves you. Bye.